Welcome to the Keisha Podcast Show. This episode is about to be a guest on the Keisha Podcast Show. I've had several inquiries, and I just wanted my guests to know exactly what it is that you can do in order to be a guest on the show. If you're interested in being a guest, you can email the podcast show, the Keisha Podcast Show at outlook.com. If you're interested in being a speaker, go to my calendar at www.calendly.com, book Keisha Phillips. Select a date and a time, and let's have a 15-minute to a 30-minute conversation about the topic in which you would like to discuss on the show. And then at that point, if we find that you are a good fit, then we will go ahead and schedule a day that you would be on the podcast. I am going to be going into season 3. I have about maybe 3 more episodes, and then I'll be completed with season 2. So I'm going to be booking the guests and special speakers going into season 3. I want you to realize that your topics can range anywhere from political, religion, relationships, marriage, health, fitness, sports. If there's something that interests you that you want to discuss, let's discuss it. But I also want to make certain that whomever is on the Keisha Podcast Show, that we have the right vibe, because I want the right energy. I want my audience to feel that chemistry, the right atmosphere. I'm trying to keep things very positive, so I'm not really engaging in a lot of negativity. I know that there's a lot of negativity going on in the world today, but those are the things that I'm hoping that through the message that I send through my podcast, is things that can begin to turn this nation around, and we can begin to head in a positive and more positive, uplifting direction. And I know that that's not something that's going to happen overnight. And I also know that that's something that's going to take time. But at the same time, even in that aspect, we have to realize that change is due. Change is overdue. And yet I am just one person trying to make a difference in today's society. But I'm looking at everybody. See, the thing about it, that we've had people in the past that only focus on a certain group of people. Not everybody. But the change and the things that need to happen in today's world is everybody. It includes everyone. In order to turn things around, it's going to take a global change. It's not an individual thing. It's not catered to just one race of people. It's everybody. Because change is due globally, everywhere. So, if you're interested in being a guest or a special speaker on the Keisha Podcast Show, then that's what I would like you to do. I would like you to send me an email and let me know, and let's discuss it. My show in season 3 coming up, we're going to talk about fitness and nutrition. I'm going to go into more details, explaining the motto: shape, transform, and train. We're going to continue to talk about the journey. We're going to continue to talk about taking back control of your health. We're going to continue to talk about exactly my thoughts exactly. So those are my 3 mottos that you're going to hear me say time and time again throughout my podcast. And in season 3, I have some very exciting topics that we're going to discuss. I'm looking forward to the guest that's going to be on my show. And I'm even more excited for the special guest that's going to also be on the show. I also want you to know that when I say my thoughts exactly, yes, my thoughts exactly. And The reason why I said that is because last night, as you know, it's NBA time and they were playing for that spot in that final championship game. And last night I was in the process of turning on the game, and it was the Dallas Mavericks playing against Minnesota, I think Timberwolves. And when I cut the television on, I was trying to cut the game on, but of course it went to the wrong station. So there before me was 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 guys that were doing a special segment in reference to the particular game that was on. Don't ask me how I ended up on the channel. Don't ask me any questions. Yeah. I know they were actually pulling me, I guess what y'all call pulling me through. So I just want you all to know that I did get your message, and if you're interested in being a guest or a special speaker on the Keisha Podcast Show, then please send me that email. One of my favorite quotes that I quoted throughout my podcast this week was by Maya Angelou, and the quote said, "In all the world there is no heart for me like yours. In all the world, there is no love for you like mine." That was a quote that was by the late Maya Angelou. And she was one of the most, I love Maya Angelou. She has some very inspiring quotes. That was one of the things that kind of led me to have a love for poetry. But that is also a segment to come. And another thing that I wanted to reiterate was just always remember that in all that we do, let's try to have the honesty, the trust, and the respect. Because those 3 things are one of the 3 most important things that exist today. I believe that you can't have one without the other. If there is no honesty, there is no trust. If there is no trust, there is no respect. And for any form of relationship, whether it's marriage, friendship, job relationships, it requires those 3 things. I just don't think you can do one and not have the other. Always remember that when you look at yourself in the mirror each day, the number 1 question that you need to ask yourself is, would you date yourself? Would you date yourself? Just think about that throughout your day and absorb. Think about your traits. Think about your qualities. You know, I'm interested to know, what is the most favorite type of music out there today? Is it R&B? Is it country? Is it hip hop? Is it rap? Is it gospel? Is it jazz? What is the number 1 type of music? When you decide that you want to listen to music, what is it that you're drawn to? Because I'm thinking about the different music that I want to include on my podcast, and I just want to know, because sometimes I could be listening to a song and I listen to the words. For the most part, I kind of listen to the words to try to have to relate to that artist, to try to understand what that artist is feeling, what that artist was vibing at that time. But then I came to realize that some songs have actually nothing personally to do with the artist. It's just that somebody wrote the song and that's it. The artist is singing the song based upon the melodies and the beats and everything that came with it. But then you have a lot of artists out there that write their own music, and when they sing or rap, it's coming from expressions. It's coming from things that they went through, everyday life. So again, my talk show is about everyday life challenges and the things that we need to do in order to change things in our lives, take back control of our health, in order to make today better than yesterday, tomorrow better than today, in order to help shape the future. Because it's going to require a lot of these things in order to change. You know, what's the number 1 hobby? If you had to go right now and say, let me take up a hobby, let me do something that I've always wanted to do, but I never had the chance to do it, what would you choose? What would that hobby be? I think my hobby, what I would choose, I would choose painting. I took art when I was like back in high school. But outside of that, and I don't necessarily know if I would define it as art, because I don't know if art and drawing is considered under the same aspect. So at one point, I used to really know how to draw really good. I used to be able to draw from a picture. So if somebody showed me a picture and say, draw this for me, I want to be able to hang it up on my wall. I want to be able to put it in a portfolio. I want to be able to put it in a picture frame. And I used to be able to do that. Now today, I'm not talking about tracing it or anything. I'm talking about like actually drawing from that picture. I haven't did that in so long, and I don't think that today that I would be able to do it on the same level that I was able to do it at that time. But I would definitely want to learn how to paint, like art, because when I look and I see that you have art, a picture, and somebody paid $1 billion for one picture, that definitely caught my attention. That, to me, that's intriguing. And I want to know how to become an artist. I want to do that. Because that gave me the idea of wanting to paint my own pictures to put on my wall. That's a topic coming. And all you artists out there, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I want to know your passion. I want to know what gives you that inspiration to paint a picture, and what gives you that inspiration to paint what it is that you paint. I want to understand the message that you're sending. I want to understand your vibe. I want to connect with your vibes. Because when I began to, paint, I want to feel whatever it is that you're feeling that gives you that idea, that inspiration to paint the pictures that you're painting. Do you want to be a guest on my show? I hope so. Know your potential. I think that goes under knowing your potential. And artists, when you can paint a masterpiece, what I'm going to call a masterpiece, because if you can sell a painting for $15 million and up, to me that is a masterpiece. But what defines a masterpiece? What put that price tag on that painting or paintings? What is it about that artist that created that picture, that made that picture to be a sum of $15 million, $100 million, $1 billion? What makes a person decide that they would pay $1 billion for a picture to put on their wall? I want to talk with you. I want to know. I want to know what make you make those, why that painting? Was it the artist? Was it something about that painting? Was it a special painting? What was the message? Understanding your blueprint, that is a topic to come. Do you understand your blueprint? Do everyone know what a blueprint is? Have everyone ever seen a blueprint? Do you know what a blueprint is? We're going to discuss that in the upcoming topic. Also, coming up is the biggest investment you can make is in yourself. Do you believe that? I do. And let me tell you why. Because the biggest investment outside of stock, outside of currency, outside of beacon, is you. It doesn't matter what you do in life. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, why would you be willing to invest in anyone else? Because if you go out there and buy stock, who are you buying stock from? Companies. When you buy Beacon, when you have people that's out there on Wall Street, you're helping all these other companies. So why wouldn't you invest in yourself? You can invest in yourself in so many different ways. Taking up a hobby, going back to school, finishing a degree, gaining a new skill. Deciding that you want to take time for self and write a book. Treat yourself to a lovely meal. Buy that favorite type of wine that you've always wanted to try. Buy those shoes, that dress. Start wearing a certain style. Embracing in whom? You, self. Investing in self. Go buy the house you've been wanting to buy. Go buy that car you've been wanting to buy. Date the man that you've been wanting to date. Date the woman that you've been wanting to date. All these different things is defined as investment in self. The greatest investment that you would ever make is in yourself. Open that business. Paint your house. Buy new furniture. Spoil your wife. Spoil yourself. Do something for yourself that you've always wanted to do. Go to the place that you always wanted to go. Travel. Take a vacation. Buy yourself a new instrument. Buy yourself a new wardrobe. Buy yourself a new truck or whatever it is that you have so desired and never have done it because you continue to just do what? Set it to the side. Not today. Not this month. Not this birthday. Not this holiday. But when? But when? When is the right time to build your dream house? When is the right time to buy a boat? A yacht? When is the right time to open up a business? Your own business? To become CEO of your own company? When is the right time? If you're not willing to invest in yourself, why are you so willing to invest in others? But you won't take the time and put that same investment in you. People, you're important. Whether you want to believe it or not, you're important. You matter. You're somebody. You have goals. You have dreams. Take that same ambition that you have for other things that you do and apply that to yourself. I'm Keisha, and you've just been listening to the Keisha Podcast Show.